Hello everyone, 𝐺𝐴𝐴 penguins in trouble. Dive into the fight against the bird flu. Understand its impact on penguins and how research is swimming to the rescue. Crush leprosy myths. Don't let misinformation scare you. Learn how Leprosy Unmasked is breaking down stigma and promoting understanding. And the Gandhi's legacy lives on. Celebrate the World Leprosy Day by joining the battle for equality and healthcare access for all. Let's explore these topics further comprehensively from the exam point of view. They might just show up on your UPSC and state civil services. I welcome you all in today's News in Focus session of FT+ Academy of Civil Services, a premier organization for the preparation of civil services. Now jump to the first topic. The first topic is about the bullet trains, the speedy swimmer of the ocean, 𝐺𝐴𝐴 penguins. They are getting sick, a bad bird flu is making them weak and even causing deaths. Scientists are working hard to help, but we need to spread the word. Let's learn more and protect these amazing creatures. The topic is important for UPSC as it relates to both prelims and mains. The syllabus topics are conservation, general issue on environment, ecology, biodiversity, climate change, and this is also useful for prelims like mapping, organization, and diseases. Let's jump to the context. Penguin deaths raise avian flu concerns. Around 200 𝐺𝐴𝐴 penguins have tragically died in the Falkland Islands, Antarctica, due to the highly contagious H5N1 avian influenza virus. The news is concerning because the large number of diseased penguins indicates a potentially significant outbreak. It tests the confirm the presence of virus in 2 penguins and raises concerns about the further spread. There is wider threat, the potential for transmission to other bird population, and reason is a major cause of worry. So what are those 𝐺𝐴𝐴 penguins? The scientific name is Pygoscelis papua, and there are many recognizable traits you can see in the picture. Eye-catching white band above their eyes. Look for the distinctive white band like this, black throat and the bright orange red bills. These penguins boast the largest tail among their penguin peers. Also, the 𝐺𝐴𝐴s are swimming champions. They can reach up to the speed of 36 km/h underwater, and they are exclusive to the southern hemisphere. You can find them primarily on the Antarctic Peninsula, subantarctic islands with a large colony in the Falkland Island. We'll discuss about the island location in the mapping part later. So they are also shoreline specialists. They favor coastlines for easy access of food and nesting areas. Now they are facing challenges. What are those challenges? Challenges of hungry neighbors like sea lions, seals, and the killer whale pose a threat. Even birds like skuas and fulmars can be the predator. There is also human impact like past eggs collection and hunting for skin affect their population. Climate concerns like global warming, changing environment, and the competition for food raises uncertainty which impacts their population size. As per the IUCN, they are currently listed as the least concern by the IUCN Red List. Now we have known the context and the challenges they are facing. Let's move to the influenza. What is influenza? Influenza refers to an acute respiratory infection which is caused by the influenza viruses, and it is of 4 types as mentioned here. You can see the screen. There are A, B, C, D. 4 types of acute respiratory infections. So first A type. A type infects a wide range of animals which includes birds, and influenza B mainly infects the humans, and influenza C infects humans, pigs, but it is rare than compared to the type A and B. While influenza D, remember this, it generally infects the cattle. There are various A subtypes. Influenza A के बहुत सारे subtypes भी हैं. One is Avian. You can see the virus name below. There is one more A subtype which is swine, and most common to humans are H1N1 and H3N1. So now when we understood the influenza virus and its types and subtypes, let's understand the role of H and N protein. H stands for hemagglutinin and N stands for neuraminidase. So these H and N protein found on the surface of the virus, they play a crucial role in the virus ability to infect and spread. While H helps in the virus attaching to the host cells, you can see the N helps the virus release from the infected cell, which allows it to spread to the new cells. So it is a complex wave of infection which can infect a wide range of animals, which includes wild waterfowl, domestic poultry like chicken, turkeys. Other animals are swine, horses, dogs, and bats. Humans are primarily infected or susceptible to two influenza A subtypes, which is H3N2 and H1N1. However, there are chances that new strains can emerge through mutations and which can pose a threat to the animals and the humans. So can all avian influenza viruses infect humans? You need to remember this fact. No, there are influenza viruses which do not infect humans. So let us understand the history about the avian influenza. It was first identified in the domestic waterfowl in China in 1996. The bird flu or avian influenza is a contagious viral infection mainly affecting birds, especially wild and domestic poultry, as we already discussed. While primarily a concern for birds, it can occasionally jump to the humans. Let's talk about the transmission. For example, birds primarily spread it through the air or contact with the contaminated droppings, feathers, and feed. Human cases are rare and typically linked to the close contacts with the infected birds. H5N1 is a highly pathogenic strain of avian influenza which is widely known. Human risk is limited. Human to human transmission is uncommon, but this H5N1 strain carries a high mortality rate. If the individual is infected, the mortality rate is approximately 60%. Right, there are various symptoms associated which are mild, serious, or neurological. The mild flu-like symptoms include fever, cough, muscle aches, and the serious respiratory issues are pneumonia and difficulty in breathing. It can also cause neurological problems like confusion and seizures. So fortunately, there are antiviral medication which has proven effective in treating human cases of bird flu. They can reduce the symptoms, severity, and the risk of death. Let's talk about the history in India. In 2006, the first outbreak of highly pathogenic avian influenza H5N1 hit India in Maharashtra, which is followed by the recurring annual outbreaks. यानी कि annual outbreaks अभी हो रहे हैं after 2006. In 2016, H5N8 arrived, which primarily affected the wild birds in the 5 states, and Kerala bearing the brunt. And it has a nationwide impact and it now spread to the 24 states and territories, leading to the killing of over 9 million birds to curb its spread. India's strategy to combat such type of viruses is basically focuses on the detect and cull policy. It is aligned with the revised National Plan 2021, and this plan, the National Action Plan, outlines measures for preventing, controlling and containing avian influenza outbreaks. Now understand about the Falkland Island. It is nested in the remote South Atlantic Ocean. Remember this fact, this island is situated in the South Atlantic Ocean, and this is Argentina. It is so this island is roughly 500 kilometers off the coast of Argentina. It is a British overseas territory now, which is having Stanley as a capital and the largest city. One interesting thing is there was dispute and fight on this island between Argentina and Britain. For example, in 1982, war between Argentina and British forces were there, but currently it remains under the British governance. As we said earlier, the UPSC asks such type of disease questions which are in news. So in 2015 UPSC prelims, the question on such viruses has been asked. The question is, H1N1 virus is sometimes mentioned in the news with reference to which one of the following diseases? If you have paid attention to this lecture, you clearly know the answer. So this H1N1 is related to the swine flu. This is the right answer. Now let's jump to the other topic of the day, leprosy. So one thing is leprosy contagious through hugs or handshakes? So unlike villain you hug in a movie, leprosy is not spread casually. Let's learn the truth with the Leprosy Unmasked today. It's curable, treatable, and does not discriminate. So let's carry forward the Gandhi's fight for compassion, not stigma. This topic is important for UPSC as relates to both prelims and mains, and the syllabus topics are mentioned here, which are issues relating to development, management of social sector services relating to health, health and diseases, and current affairs of national importance. Let's jump to the context. Why this is in news? So World Leprosy Day falls on the last Sunday of January, and India observes it on January 30th, interestingly coinciding with the death anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi himself dedicated to fight leprosy. It championed the rights of patients, raised awareness about the disease. His tireless efforts improved the lives of countless individuals, paved the way for progress in managing and combating leprosy in India. This topic leprosy is important because UPSC generally asks questions related to Mahatma Gandhi and the diseases, and this topic covers both. So you need to understand what is the purpose of World Leprosy Day and what is this disease. Let's jump to the purpose. The theme for this year 2024 is Beat Leprosy. It tackles dual challenge. One is eradicating the stigma surrounding the leprosy, which remains a crucial focus this year. By raising awareness and educating public about the myths and misconception about the disease, we can dispel the myths surrounding it. Second objective is promoting the dignity of people affected by leprosy, which is equally important. So what is leprosy? Let's understand that first. So the World Leprosy Day, leprosy does not spread by touching, as we already discussed about it. So let's understand what is the leprosy. It is also known as Hansen's disease. It is a chronic infectious disease caused by the specific bacteria. The name of the bacteria is Mycobacterium leprae. As you can see on the screen, it can affect the skin, peripheral nerves, the lining of the upper respiratory tract, and even the eyes. So while it can occur at any age, it is important to remember that leprosy is not inherited. One more important fact which can be asked or given as a statement in the UPSC prelims question. So how does it spread? Let's talk about the transmission. This leprosy is not highly contagious, but it can spread through close and frequent contact with someone who has untreated leprosy. The bacteria typically spreads through the droplets from the nose, mouth when the infected person cough or sneeze. So we need to remember that early diagnosis and treatment are crucial for preventing complication and ensuring a full recovery. If the disease is diagnosed earlier, the patient can ensure a full recovery. There are 3 must-eat of treatment. WHO recommends a standardized treatment regimen called multi-drug therapy, which includes 3 drugs named Dapsone, Rifampicin, and clofazimine. Pardon my pronunciation of these medical drugs names, but these 3 drugs have been provided free of charge to patients worldwide since 1995. You can take a note of this. So again, I am emphasizing here that early diagnosis and timely treatment are the key to overcoming leprosy and living a healthy life. So there are 2 classifications of this leprosy. हमें बहुत कुछ ज़्यादा नहीं डीप में नहीं जाना है, बस ये 2 टाइप आपको याद रखनी है. वन इज पीबी एंड सेकेंड इज एमबी. पीबी नेम इज possibacillary and the MB name is multibacillary. While PB is smear negative. Smear negative means fewer bacterial load, and it usually involves fewer skin infections, while MB has a higher bacterial load and it often manifests with the more extensive skin involvement. It generally considered more infectious than the PV. Now let's understand about the global perspective. So it is a concern that despite significant progress, leprosy remains a persistent threat. It is classified as a neglected tropical disease, and it casts a shadow over more than 120 countries, with over 200,000 new cases emerging every year. In 2022 alone, there are 182 countries which reported a whopping 165,000 cases. And the World Health Organization paints a concerning picture here. It highlights that African and Southeast Asian regions shoulder the heaviest burden of these new cases. Let's talk about the Indian context as well. In 2005, India successfully eliminated leprosy as a public health concern with a prevalence rate below 1 per 10,000 people. Remember this line, 1 per 10,000 people. Remember, this is less than 1 case per 10,000 people. But the concern is disease still remains endemic in certain states and territories. The current national prevalence rate is around 0.4 per 10,000 people, which indicates that persistent pockets of leprosy is there that require focused attention. So according to the WHO 2018 data, India accounts for almost 57% of the world's leprosy cases. Now look at this map. So these are the African countries and Southeast Asian countries which shares the highest burden of this disease. In case of India, high endemic districts are in mostly in the central part and the eastern part, while the low endemic districts are in the northern part, northeastern state, southern states and the western state, as highlighted in green in the map here. So this data is till 2020-21 according to a report by the National Health Mission. There are various efforts India has taken. The initiative in India includes National Leprosy Eradication Program of 1983. This program was launched, as I said, in 1983. It tackles the leprosy nationwide. It is a centrally sponsored health scheme with the key goal of reducing cases, preventing disabilities, raising awareness about the disease. And it also raises the awareness about the curability of this disease. And the program, this NLEP program, has significantly contributed to the India's progress against this disease. Now, India has launched a dynamic plan called National Strategic Plan NSP and Roadmap for Leprosy 2023-27. It has a bold ambition. This program, this plan and roadmap has a bold ambition, which is achieving zero transmission of leprosy by 2070. And this ambition surpasses the Global Sustainable Development Goal 3, specifically third target of this goal of achieving the same by 2030. So in general, if we talk about the SDG 3.3, the broader aim of this target is to tackle several diseases including AIDS, TB, malaria and neglected tropical disease like leprosy. So with the new NSP, India reinforces its commitment to eradicate leprosy. This ambitious plan, coupled with the National Leprosy Eradication Program, paves the way for a future where leprosy is no longer poses a threat. Now let's understand about the UPSC prelim year questions. So this question appeared in UPSC prelims 2017. At that time, Zika virus was in news. So the disease or virus is in news is generally asked by the UPSC. So first statement of the question says, in tropical regions, Zika virus disease is transmitted by the same mosquito that transmits dengue. And the second statement says the sexual transmission of Zika virus disease is possible. And the question asks which of these statements given above are correct. The options are below. So if you are following current affairs, you are able to solve such kind of questions. So correct answer of this question is both the statements are true. So the correct answer is both 1 and 2. So this is how you should, keep yourself up to date with the current affairs to solve such kind of questions. So that's it for today. Thank you for joining today's News in Focus session of Apti Plus Academy. I hope the discussions we made proves valuable for your upcoming UPSC and other state civil services exams. Stay tuned for more educational content, information and topics useful for such exams. Till then, keep learning, keep visiting Apti Plus YouTube channel and thanks for watching. Signing off.